Vicky with Vicky's Tigger Tales. Welcome to my channel where we talk, swap, and unbox all things Disney, and sometimes we do planning videos. So today I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've done for March so far. I usually do all my planning videos with the entire month instead of doing a week by week. To be quite honest, I don't have the time to do upload it on a weekly basis. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing this month. My word, I will always have a word of the month, and this word this month is going to be simplify. And go through the monthly, what my month looks like, as well as some of the weeks that I have already done layouts for and that I am going to concentrate on. So in each one of my planning videos, I want to incorporate not only how I lay out my planner, but how I actually use my planner, which I think sometimes can, like, for me, for instance, I have planners for my planners for my planners. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I wanted just to kind of do what I could to simplify my life a little bit and use one planner for a lot of different things. So, like I said, this month's word is going to be simplify. I like to put like little quotes and stuff that kind of really inspire me. I'm big on quotes and phrases that are positive to kind of enforce any kind of positive affirmations, to keep going and how to look about each day. I really like this one, each day is a fresh start, because it really is a fresh start on, you know, and challenging the day and making it work for you. So I have actually, this month, I went ahead and, like, I know that my rent's due here, my electric's usually due here, my water's usually due here, this kind of stuff. And so I'm laying out what each bill looks like and when it should be due. And I'm going to put, you know, like how much it is, but then it kind of gives me an idea, if I can go back to this, of what we need to save during that time period. So if we have a big week where we get paid, my husband drives for Lyft. He's retired, but he also drives for Lyft. So I can look at, okay, rent's due. We know that one's already, we've already saved back in the, you know, like all February to do this payment, which is the biggest bill that we have. But I've got cable, electric, and water. And cable and water are usually a little bit of a smaller bill, so if he makes what he normally makes during the day, we can knock one or two of these out already, and then then these are done. And then we can just concentrate on this one that usually takes maybe 1 or 2 good days. So I like to see so I can scratch them off when they're done and what we've got left. I also, and this is just a month as we see it, so I can look at all the weeks together. The week by week is how this is how I usually plan it, and I do the same thing. So it looks like I'm doing double work, but it kind of is like I bring things forward. On this page, I can see where I can lay things out and what will be knocked out on what week. But in this week, I'm going to actually show what I've done. So I brought my, this page actually was inspired by this sticker. I really loved it. I thought it was so pretty. So this is the Mickey Mouse Classic planner. It has usually Mickey and Minnie as you, did I have it on the front? No. Yeah, right here. Usually has something like this. I went ahead and covered it because I really wanted to have kind of an Aurora theme. I had the Princess Planner last year, and I had a whole bunch of stickers that are just gorgeous that I didn't really want to go to waste at all, that I wanted to go ahead and do and use. So I just picked one that I thought was pretty and went ahead and put it here. And this is all the color scheme and everything is kind of based off of this particular one. So I covered this. I bring my word just to kind of keep it right in front of my face all the time. I'm looking to, you know, I've been in my house for 4 years, and so we all can simplify, declutter, simplify your life, simplify even small things. The planners, simplify your closets, simplify all of this stuff. So that's kind of leading me to my insert. I talked about this last month in the last planning video that I did, is these inserts that is like, it's called All the Things. It's just lined paper. You can stick it in anywhere. You know, Happy Planner has this wonderful way of being able to pull out and put back in if you need it. And the things that I want to accomplish in March that go along with my word simplify, because this is what my plan is for this particular month, because we're gearing up to have a big yard sale. So I put in here month of declutter and reorganize. And usually in my thing, I mark down the days that Darren's driving. He's driving all this week. At the end of the day, I'm going to be putting down right here in the little corner what he made for the day, because he can actually pull out money every day if he wants to. So, which is awesome, because then we kind of have an idea of what we can pay off during that time period. Again, with the affirmations, you can and you will. Yes, I will. This is going to be a big, huge thing to tackle. I've gotten the closets. I'm going to take the clothes that I have over to Buffalo Exchange in Arizona, and I don't know if it's everywhere, but nonetheless, it's a place where you can sell your old clothes. If they take them, they will give you money or store credit for them, which is pretty cool. Not sponsored, wish I was. Nonetheless, super cool place. There are a couple places in Phoenix, Arizona that will actually do that, so I am actually going to take my stuff to a couple of different places too. And that way too, if you get a store credit, you see something there, you're recycling your clothes, which I love to do. I don't like to wear the same thing all the time. So, like my Dizney t-shirts, I will never get rid of. But there's other clothing items that, you have that black shirt that, or, blouse or something that you've worn a couple of times and people have seen it. And if you're like me, I like to change things up a little bit. You can take it in, exchange it, find another one. I like to have staple pieces in my wardrobe, and that's the way to be able to do it, is to recycle the things that you have. I've already done this once. I crossed it out. I went through my entire jewelry box. I watched a video on someone who was decluttering. I'm big on that and reorganization and all of that, which I may start doing some videos on just to kind of help inspire maybe or teach what I've learned. But the person that I was watching actually was decluttering every aspect of her house, including her jewelry, and said if you haven't worn a piece, even if it's a real piece, like real stones, that kind of stuff, for a few years and it has no sentimental value, why don't you recycle that in a way to go ahead and maybe purchase a piece that means something more to you. So, or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to use that for. I took that to heart and thought, these are the areas of my house that I really could use some help right now. This one especially, because I have a lot of stuff from box swaps and different mystery boxes that I actually could downsize. So I have a drawer, I actually have a couple of drawers now, full of different items that I may regift or use as giveaway prizes. So I put that in there just to have it in front of my face. You can't use the back side. I haven't done that yet for the rest of the week. I figured I've got enough to do here. So I also have these little stickers that remember to hydrate. That's a big one for me. I live in Arizona. I'm a desert girl. We need a lot of water. We need a lot of water anyway, no matter where we are. But I certainly don't drink enough of it, and it's time that I started being more cognizant of what that does to my body. So I got these little stickers. I thought I'd color them in. Actually, I have a couple that I can actually color in today because I've been a good girl. And trying to check my progress. Having a visual in front of me is really important. That way I can kind of see where I might need to fill in the gaps. Seek magic every day, another one, and then happiness, is found within. That is so true. So if you're gonna find happiness, you've got to be happy with yourself before you can actually see it in somebody else. So, agree, disagree, that's okay. So I go through all of my pages until the last one, and then I'll work with it. I'll work on it with you. Again, I brought my word over. I am putting down, because by this time these bills should be the only ones that are left. I may be able to knock out some of those prior to, so what I'll just do is just cross them out. But this is always in front of my face. I'm always looking at it. I'm always cognizant of what is left to take care of. So this is my layout for the 7th through the 13th. I do know that I have a date night. I do have another dinner with Susan. We've got a box swap, so I am trying to get this box ready for her because we are going to meet each other on the 10th. I guess I'm kind of spoiler alert on this planner video, so, but, you know, is what it is. I like to throw in here a couple of times. We often forget about, especially when we're busy, to throw in some self-care or pamper me days. And so Sundays are the days that I like to do that. My husband actually joins me with that, which I really love. We'll do masks. We'll do, just whatever we need to do to pamper each other or ourselves. I really love this pink kind of, the sticker I thought was gorgeous. I use stickers not just from one book. I have probably 20 different books that I've either been gifted or have purchased myself on sale from the Happy Planner. Again, not sponsored nonetheless. That I try to go with a theme, like this is the color palette kind of for this particular one, and build on it, whether it be building with the color or a design or flowers, whatever the case may be. But I thought this sticker was super cute, Mickey and Minnie, and he's holding flowers. This is when daylight savings begins. In Arizona, we don't actually do daylight savings time, but I need to be aware of, like, especially for work, when this happens, because I work in a customer service setting, so it's important for me to know not to call someone when my time is X and their time is like before I'm allowed. So that is a good reminder. I also have a sticker that says daylight savings time has ended. So this one I just kept very simple. I didn't do a lot to it because, and I've said this before on my other planning video, I use my pages also for memories. So if in this week there is something that we have done that I want to remember, or people that we've seen, met with, had a good time with, whatever the case may be, I write those in, because I'll take these pages out and put them in a file cabinet, and then I'll always have these to kind of look back on. The things we did, I write in. So I don't just write in it for this week. On Sunday, if there are things that I want to remember, or I'm tracking how many times I went swimming or to the gym this week, or I'm tracking what meals I've actually made, so I'm not duplicating things over and over again, because I have a tendency to get into a pattern and kind of stay there, which thankfully my husband doesn't mind, but nonetheless, I do like to switch things up a little bit. So if there's a new recipe that I want to try, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's been Taco Tuesday for 4 weeks in a row. Maybe it's Tuesdays I'm going to go ahead and try something different, then I can see exactly what I've done and where I've done it. And this is the page we're going to work on together. So I love Tiana. It is March. This is not necessarily the week for St. Patrick's Day, but I thought I better put green in there somewhere. So, it feels like a March time period. So I'm just going. I've got a couple of stickers that I thought were really pretty. Got this flower or floral one that I wanted to stick in here. That I thought was gorgeous. And then we want to put little Tiana on a branch right there, we could. I've got another sticker that kind of goes with that flower. It's so pretty. I'm going to put with her. No, not there. Maybe right, yeah, right in here. And I like to still, like, even though I'm decorating, I like to still leave a little bit of, you know, a little bit of room to be able to write in things as they come up. This is a little banner that says, "This is what it's all about." Like I said, I love to do like words of affirmation and things to remember. I've got a whole book that is just all of that. Oh, that's a little too crooked, but I'll fix that later. Here's another Tiana icon, the trumpet from Louis. Let's stick that where? Right here. I know some of the placement is very random. I actually like it that way. On my layouts, you know, I still like to be able to write stuff in things, so I leave a lot of space for that. But then I also like to put things down that kind of make sense. So, this is another date night. My husband and I like to go and try to do date night every week. We get paid on Thursdays, or I get paid on Thursdays, so that's always a, there we go, put him right there. So I always like to mark that, so we kind of like, don't forget. Sometimes you get caught up in stuff and just don't take the time, and that is a miss because you don't want to, you need time for yourselves to reconnect. So it's important for us to do that. And we do that often. So let's see, what else do we have? I have this, well, these are a sticker book that came from Walmart that was only like $4. So super pretty. I love the colors. I love these, like, they're kind of like jewel tones, like a real pretty deep turquoise and lilac and purple. And nothing really that I can see that it sticks out to me. There's one that I do like. There's a couple of sayings that I have already on here. It's the spring is the time for plans and projects, which is certainly the time period that I'm looking at for March because I'm decluttering everything. And this one says, never be afraid to dream big, which I think is so true. Don't be afraid to do it. It's important, you know, dream big and then follow through. Let's get a couple of little tiny things on here that are cute. And I'm not going to do too much more to this. I think it looks great as it is. And just call it a day as far as that's concerned. Because like I said, again, I like to write in things. This is morning, afternoon, and evening. And that way it gives me plenty of space still to write, but it looks real pretty. And here, by this time period, the 21st through the 26th of March, I should have all of my bills paid. So I just leave that blank. If not, I'll write them in, you know, and use it for that. So let's go back to decluttering real quick. One of the things that I thought was important to talk about is spring's coming. A lot of people go out and get into spring cleaning and getting rid of some household things. You can go, there's a lot of different methods. I won't go through all of them because, you know, there's the one that sparks joy. There's the one, if you haven't seen it in 2 years, then it's probably something that you don't use. There is, there's even a method where you only have, let's just say, for instance, in your kitchen, the plates and cups and bowls and, you know, silverware sets for each member of the household. And then maybe a set, 2 or 3, however many you have, 4 maybe, of what you're going to be doing for entertaining. I know for my everyday set, I have 8. I don't need 8, it's my husband and I. You know, it's a whole set. They're signed by an artist, and so I would have to get rid of the whole thing and replace, you know, just have two. But it saves on dishes, which then saves on water, which then saves on your bill, you know. So things like that I'm trying to be a little more cognizant of. Not wearing one pair of shorts, you know, and then throw them in the laundry so the laundry piles up. Those kinds of things that you can kind of scale back on doing so you don't necessarily have. Now, I'm using those examples for myself. Doesn't mean that you have to do that, but things that are, you know, going to be able to scale back on not only just your house, your items in your house, but how they affect the things that you have to pay for on a monthly basis. The electricity, the, you know, water, whatever the case may be. So things to think about. So decluttering the kitchen, I have a particular drawer and a particular shelf that needs all the help in the world that I may actually do a video on, so stay tuned for that. That I want to try to find ways to go ahead and organize, as well as showing you what I've gotten rid of, and you know where it's going, because if it doesn't get sold in a yard sale, it's definitely going to be donated in some way. So I hope you love this planning. I'm going to do happily planning each month. I'm going to go through the weeks that I have already laid out, what I'm going to be doing for that month, a word, how I set my planner up, what I'm tracking, and you know, and maybe some tips and tricks for things that'll help you around the household as well. So if there's anything that you need help with, like decluttering or organization, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you'd like to see as far as like I had tips for a little bit of tracking the last video. I may be doing some budgeting. I may be doing some other things. So stay tuned for some of those things, because I was a single mom for 17 years, raising 3 kids on my own, with one job. That's a feat in itself, I believe. I may tell that story at some point. Nonetheless, I think I have a lot of tips that I can actually help with families that are in the same position. So let's use the knowledge that we have, right? All right. Well, thanks always for your support. It always means so much to me. Hope you enjoy this Happily Planning 101, or Happily Planning, whatever the title is going to be for this month, for the month of March. And I will see you very soon.